Hello guys, welcome to the top 10 China news for today. And the number one news is Luxure's giant bet. They're not gonna go away because of the tariff trapped situation. Because Luxure, also known as Apple's biggest iPhone and Vision Pro and AirPod assemblers, is not moving away from Vietnam anytime soon. Why? Because Trump back with more tariff threats, and Vietnam is now a pretty safe bet to dodge the incoming cost storm. Even though most of Luxure's manufacturing still happen in China, they're clearly hedging their big bets with this China Plus One playbook. And it's not just about saving money, it's about survival in this messy trade war. And number two news is ByteDance slows down. But TikTok is basically carrying the whole show. ByteDance is the parent company for TikTok, as you know. Still made insane money last year, $33 billion in profits. And it only grew 6% from 2023. And that is slow for them. And what's really holding up the house is TikTok. The app's overseas revenue jumped a ridiculous 63%, hitting $39 billion. And now making up 25% of ByteDance's total income. And that is a first. Meanwhile, China's growth is cooling off. In China, it's called Douyin. And the profit margins are shrinking from 26% down to 21%. And they're clearly pivoting harder into AI and global plays for China. And number three news is US slams the door on cheap Chinese parcels like Temu, Shein. So I have to say good luck to you guys. And this one is really brutal. The US just announced that they're starting in May. They're going to slap 90% tariff on 75 per package, whichever is more, on small packages from China. And by June, that number could go up even to $150. And you definitely want to buy it now before it hits you. And number four news is Focus Media ends the beef, is buying its longtime rival for $83 billion. And you know those ads in the elevator? For the past decade, Focus Media and New Focus Media, sounds the same, have been fighting for the space. And the Focus Media is buying out the New Focus Media for cool $83 billion yuan. It's a total power monopoly move, consolidating the entire elevator media sector under one roof in China. And the ad war is pretty much over, and Focus Media walks away as a king of the vertical screen and elevators. And the number five news is Volkswagen, and they're losing China sales. But they're playing a different game, a discount game. Volkswagen saw its China numbers drop in Q1, and yes, it hurts. But they're not jumping into the electronic car price war with Tesla and BYD. They're definitely not jumping right into the EV price war, and that's got Tesla, BYD, and local Chinese brands slashing prices left and right. Instead, Volkswagen's strategy is just to keep chill, focus on stable pricing and focusing on better margins. Luckily, strong electronic EV sales in Europe and the US are helping to offset the China pain, at least for now. And number six is JD's.com food delivery, which is kind of like the Uber Eats in the US. And they have been crashing the market. So like Jingdong is giving a lot of subsidy. On April 21st, Jingdong is launching its massive campaign subsidy, working with big names like McDonald's, Haidilao, Burger King, and just giving lots of coupons. I personally have used it. I virtually spent nothing. And they're throwing money like a single state. Jingdong has clearly got the local lifestyle ambition, and they want to take over the entire food delivery services in China. Number seven news is China's retail manufacturing giants. Some are up and some are struggling. And let's talk about the earnings. So for fast retailing giants like Uniqlo has crushed it. Their sales is up 12% and profits up 90%. And their latest half-year results is looking good. And Chang'an Auto had revenue up 5.6%, but the profit has plunged 35%. Damn, ouch. And BSH, the German home appliances giants, and the total foreign branches all over China, has strong presence globally. And in China has dropped 4.5% is due to the currency, the headwinds, and basically the growth is just uneven. And these global giants are feeling the pressure, the heat. And number 8 news is about beer. It's called Snow Beer, 雪花啤酒, and it's gonna go to Korea. And Heineken is bringing this China #1 beer into Seoul. The Snow Beer from China is the biggest beer brand in the world by volume, and it's about to make its debut in South Korea. Heineken Korea just announced that it will be the exclusive seller, and they're starting with bottles in the restaurants and then rolling out to supermarkets and convenience stores and this summer. And for context, the Snow Beer sells over 10 billion liters per year, and mostly in China, but this could be a big leap into global market, maybe in the US, but there's tariffs, so who knows. And number 9 news is Chinese suppliers are quietly spreading out. During press events, Uniqlo's CEO has dropped a truth bomb. Tariffs are not forever, but the brands are already shifting production outside of China. He pointed to suppliers moving into Vietnam, Indonesia, Bangladesh, and scouting India, and even parts of Africa. It's all about staying nimble and future-proofing supply chains, especially as made in China is now become a really political hot potato. Number 10, the last news is China tries to convert export factories into local powerhouses. So with exports under pressure, China's Ministry of Commerce is urging major retailers to help export-focused suppliers to sell domestically. For example, the Yonghui Superstore is already in action, reaching out to over 70 manufacturers, many of whom are supplying to Costco and Sam's Club in the US. And now they're being asked to pivot inward and sell domestically in China. And it's part of the Beijing's bigger plan to keep domestic markets stay afloat. And it's going to be a tough one because we're still number 2 in the total global market.